Today in Kingdom Glory broadcast, you are going to have an opportunity to understand the liberty in high places that the early development of Israel had in the secrets of Sodom and Gamorrah, a new earth age that began to the point that they had sexual liberty to walk identically naked in the new earth together in the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah in worship to God, to the point that they absolutely had corporate naked worship unto God, to the extent that they began to have sexual cooperation, copulation with their mates in worship to God, just like Eden, to the full extent of kingdom privilege. Once this was acquired in their knowledge, they walked very free, identically, in the new earth. These are the secrets of Sodom and Gomorrah. But then, as they walked in this force of freedom in the new earth, they came to the height of Edenic liberation and worship to God in the new earth, to the extent that they lost vision and began to worship the priest, and then eventually a stone. And eventually the glory of God began to depart from them, to the extent that they fell into debauchery, because they did not know the furtherance of knowledge of the kingdom, to the extent that they were then judged as a debaucherous nation. They even had the knowledge of worshiping angels, to the extent of experiencing the cooperation of angels in their sexual worship to God, as is in the throne room of God. But when they began to depart, even Lot said, when the angels were there present to release him from the judgment, even the people in the streets knew the angels were there and were bidding for them to come out and have sex with them, proving that they had knowledge of these things before it became debaucherous and evil. Now today, even the judgments of Israel, the priests began to redevelop Israel in the groves and the gardens and high places where the priests used to sexually worship each other in worship to God, and worship God and worship each other. The full Edenic triangle, before they began to depart from God and worship each other, and eventually erect a stone and depart from glory, known as the high places, and eventually the debauchery of Israel. Because these priests did not come down to teach the high places of worship to the valley, which means that the valley was being deprived of counsel, because the priests did not walk in further vision to then teach the ignorant. They claimed spiritual pride, and the nation fell desperately. This is the sudden victory that God has eliminated in the current earth age, the judgment of the whore of Babylon, bringing high places of prideful sexual liberation to a place of low place, to now realize their need to teach the ignorant. And of course, the ignorant that have been lamenting of this sexual limitation upon them and sexual liberation that they need, they have been desperately low, as Jeremiah decrees his awareness of his many sins, his ignorance. End of the whore of Babylon. Now today, pastors that have been shackling themselves in the congregations in shame about the need to cover their wealth of their body and their wealth of their inheritance are no longer needing to be shackled. And the people that have claimed the Edenic liberation and the wealth of the earth are now no longer shackled by the church, and the church is no longer shackled by them. It's time to start to increase in knowledge in the liberty that Isaiah knew when he walked in Edenic innocence and nakedness for 3 years on the earth as a prophet. These days have now come, known as the brilliant course of God to melt away the injustice and create a new earth. You can learn more about these transformative keys in a brand new website that is available for you today. You can have the opportunity to click on the news, hear current updates about this ministry, and of course, you can get free access to education. And for people that have the ability to pay for the education, you can get a PhD in many realms of transfigurative knowledge to transfigure your life today.
Hello?